Hey, how's it going guys? Harry here. So if you've noticed, my channel has changed a little bit. I'm going to be doing some kind of different type of videos. And I thought I'd start out with looking at my old photography. So I've been a photographer for quite a while now. I wouldn't say professionally for quite a while, but it's been a hobby. If you've seen my channel, you probably know it's been my hobby for quite a while. So I thought I'd look back through old pictures, look at all the pictures that I've taken before, look at where I am now and where I can go in the future. So I thought we'd have a look through my old pictures anyway and critique them almost, have a look and see what they're like. Okay, so this is my first picture. Now I'll explain the situation. I was doing photography for the Mr. and Mrs. England finals, not the official photography, but I was doing it for a company that was working there. And these turned out kind of awful. The lighting ended up being at the very end of the stage of the runway and shining directly onto everyone, which was a bit kind of odd. So it was very difficult to try and get that right. But I don't think the pictures turned out too bad, but I don't think they turned out that great either. Definitely could have done more with this one, but you look directly in my camera, so I mean it's pretty good. And I've got another one here as well, which is of the lady walking down with one of her costumes on. I quite like the pictures, colouring's good, a little bit dark around the edges. You can see people's heads there as well. I wasn't on the platform, so I didn't quite get high enough. And a little bit overexposed in some places, but not too bad. My cat's joined, yes. So this is another one that I've taken. I was a fan of this picture at the time, but not anymore. I think it kind of lacks contrast, there's not really much going on. The lines on it especially, they lead you away from what you're meant to be looking at, and there's nothing at the end, so using leading lines is a really useful thing to have. So for instance, if you have a garage with like a car park with lines going in, you could have something in the centre because your eyes are naturally drawn there. But I feel like with this one it kind of draws you away from the actual picture. So this is one of my friend Georgia. As you can tell, it's not great pictures, the lines aren't straight in it. Not really much going on at all either. I think the lines on a dress are too distracting as well. This was us just filming a promotional video for a charity I help with, and we decided to take the picture as well. But not a terrible picture, but very amateurish, not very good. Not a fan of that one at all, no. So we got another one here of Georgia, and this one I like almost, but I think it's a bit too over-edited. I've been kind of going through my style, trying to get a style of how I want my pictures to look. And I was experimenting with loads of them. If you look through all of these pictures, you'll see that they change, they vary. I've very much definitely got my style now, but that's the thing that I've worked towards. So if you are starting out and you don't have a style for your pictures, it's definitely worth just experimenting, downloading presets, doing all that kind of stuff. And eventually you kind of get to your style, you get to how you edit, and that will kind of set you apart from other people as well. So this is a picture of my friend Jordan in the snow. Now I actually quite like this picture quite a lot. I like how cool it is because obviously you can tell it's been snowing in the background. But I just like the colours, it's very subtle, it's not too over the top, and it's very real as well. I think best with clients is if you want them to laugh, or you want them to have a genuine emotion, it's best not to tell them to pose, but best to make them laugh or get them kind of in the moment, because it looks more real, it looks more genuine than if you were to have them just stood there staring, smiling at the camera. So this is another one that I did. This is a recent one. This is for a christening that I did in a church, and I like this one a lot. This is more my editing style now, the kind of dramatic, cooler looking style. And you can see there's leading lines all throughout it. So there's obviously the walk up the middle. You've got the arch as well. It kind of brings your eyes down, focus on the very centre, and that's a good thing as well if you're taking pictures. Yes, that's a good thing if you want to experiment with leading lines and stuff. Very good way. Look at buildings, kind of that type of thing. And just see where your viewer is going to be looking. Are they going to be looking at the centre? Are your eyes going to be drifting off to the side? A good way to do this is just to kind of ask people, where are your eyes attracted to in this picture? And get their honest opinion. See where they're looking, see if they're looking off to the side, see if they're looking where you want them to look. But it's a very good thing. You can also experiment with dark and light, colours, everything, and really get focused to where you want people to look. So this is a recent one that I did of Jordan. Now I quite like this one as well. The blowing hair, the dramatic. Again, very much my editing style, the kind of cool look, the slightly faded but not too over the top. And as you can see, there's kind of leaving lines in this. There's a little bit of a distraction in the background, which I couldn't really control too much, but it's not too distracting. The line of the fence actually leads you towards her as well. And she's very central in the picture, and she's not directly facing on, which I quite like, to kind of have a little bit of angle as well. I like it quite a lot. So this is another one of my friends, Serena. This is one of my favourite ones recently. Again, in my editing style, you can see you've got her standing in a cool pose. The wind blowing her hair makes it a little bit more interesting, and the background as well. It's busy, but it's not too distracting. I quite like having something in the background, but nothing that's going to really take your eye away from the actual, the subject of the picture. And that's why as well I like shooting wider. A lot of people say, oh, just shoot a little bit less wide, but I prefer to shoot wider, as it's kind of, I don't know, it's my type of thing. But I definitely love how this picture looks. It looks quite good. So this is Akeem again, and this is of his hat. Now I like this one because the clothing is very simple. It's not detracting you from the hat, which was the main focus. The background again is dramatic, it's dark, it's not too distracting from the actual focus itself, so I really like how this one turned out. So this is another one of Akeem again. The background isn't too distracting, it's quite a cool background, it's a bit different than you normally see. If I could get rid of the building and the lamps in the background, I probably would, but just because of the way that building was facing, you couldn't really get rid of those at all. I had him stand on a chair just to get higher up, to kind of remove as much of that as possible. But I really like how these turned out. So, I mean, you can see how, as I started, there was lacking any detail, any colour, any interest in it. But as I've progressed, you can see kind of how I've become more kind of aware of my surroundings, kind of leading lines, what things are in the background, kind of colouring pictures, all of that stuff. And you can really see kind of how it started. So if you are starting out in photography, don't worry about other people's pictures. I know it can be quite discouraging, looking at people thinking, my pictures aren't really good, Find your own style. You can really kind of find what you fit in. So if it's fashion, if it's product photography, if it's, nature, landscapes, anything, you can really find your style. And I think that's the most fun part about photography, is finding what you're best at, what you really think you fit in. So yeah, hopefully this helped. If you are just starting out in photography, don't let other people's work discourage you. Just think, how can I make this better, and really push, and eventually you'll get there, and you can see that I'm still getting there. So don't let people discourage you at all. Keep at it, and hopefully I can do another one of these and look back at these pictures and go, look at how I've progressed as well. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to give it a like. Also subscribe if you haven't already. And if you are in photography, make sure to click that bell notification icon, the one that rings, that one. And you can keep up to date with all of my videos. Hopefully I'll be making videos regularly. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you in the next video.